We open on the beautiful man-made beaches of Lachlan 1. The sun beats down on brilliantly smooth white sands. Crystalline clear water laps on the shoreline. A subtle, artificially created breeze sweeps the landscape. And our main focus, a young gentleman by name of Caulie LeFlower, looks onto the horizon at the nearby Lachlan City, its brilliant mirror-finished buildings reflecting the sun off of their towering sides. Luxury grav cars zip in and around the buildings as young vacationers and tourists take joyrides. And holographic advertisements for tonight's upcoming events, shows, raves, and parties float by on flying portable billboards. Just then, a subtle voice calls out from behind Caulie as he stands on the beach. A gentle hand, or a hand gently rests on his shoulder. "Mr. LeFlower, your drink," says Flo Cordova in a sarcastic, sort of over-the-top servitude tone. Flo is one of Caulie's many quote-unquote friends, a new acquaintance he's made in the few short days since he's been on Lachlan. She works as a bartender / waitress at a number of the beach resorts planetside. She knows all the best local spots and is in a sort of similar age range to Caulie himself. She's a very adventurous sort who you've gotten to know over your couple of days since you got to this planet on your sort of your journey. What's up?
She has holographic hair.
Yeah. So there are these things in this game. There's like a bunch of healing items. If you look at the equipment, and if you're going through the equipment section, there's healing items, and one of them is a pre-tech cosmetic, which is like, okay, so you have like basically stim packs you can inject and they restore 1d8 HP or whatever. But then these pre-tech cosmetics are, hyper advanced TL5. Before the Scream technology that we as a society can't reproduce anymore. They're too fancy, and they use like nanotech to operate. But the concept is, it's a tube of lipstick that makes your lips glow ultraviolet colors or whatever, and it heals you for 1d8 as well. So it's a healing item, but like in a cosmetic form. So it's like, oh yeah, this is some eye cream that makes you look 10 years younger. Also, incidentally, it heals for 1d6 HP.
It's lipstick that also acts as a black light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and this one is it's hair dye that works to project holographic images. Ooh. So it gives your hair a flowy texture.
Okay.
But yeah, so she hands you a drink, something you had ordered prior to this. At this point, Caulie has been on Lachlan for, like I said, just a few days. Probably this is his third day here. It's around high noon. And his credits are running low on his journey. It's been some time since he's left home on his wanderlust adventure to find himself, get away from his dad, and perhaps most importantly, try and get a lead on his mother. We find ourselves kind of around the heart of the Nova Core system at this point. You're one jump away from the absolute center system and one jump away from New Texas as well, if you remember that from one of the one-shots. But yeah, this is a resort planet artificially made. Let me give you the handouts for the planets and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the planet. You got Lachlan 1, and for the system, you also have.
Did you also AI these?
No, I just pulled these offline. Actually, I did AI the one for the system, the one that has several planets in it. No, actually, no. I just pulled these offline. Actually, I AI'd the art that you are on right now.
Got it. Something different from nothingness.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, essentially, it's just a hyper-rich beach resort planet they just made. by uh, building out, Anyway, so your new friend hands you a drink.
Like trappy, like tourist trappy.
Kind of. It's more of like a very exclusive beach resort. It is kind of like for the wealthy of the wealthy. Lots of kids your age with no troubles, heirs to fortunes, families going on cabana villa kind of vacations.
Have I noticed any? You know what?
I don't know what.
Yeah, you don't know what. Have I noticed any Dawn's Gleam here?
Oh, yeah. So that's what it's called again, Dawn's Gleam.
Yeah, that's like the glass stuff.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Hold on, let me double check because I'm also learning my own backstory. Yes, Dawn's Gleam is the sand, the refinement, secret gold mine of Dawn's Gleam refinement. Yeah, I think it's just called Dawn's Gleam, the glass.
Cool. There you've noticed a few pieces here and there. Yeah, it's made its way here. This is the kind of place where, because it's such a luxury item, right, this expensive kind of just like, it doesn't really have any good practical purposes. It's overly expensive just for the sake of rarity,
Yes.
and the sort of euphoric feelings you can get when you like touch it or whatever. But it's this is the perfect kind of place for that kind of thing. There's a few,
Okay.
glass chandeliers made out of it and little like glass sculptures.
Got it. Okay, you're also gonna have to bear with me because I still don't fully know Caulie's voice. I think it's just gonna be like surfer dude, but let's
Cool.
see how it goes, I guess.
Yeah.
All right,
So Flo hands you this drink and says, here you are.
Yeah.
She goes, so, any changes since yesterday? How are you liking the place? This is your first time on Lachlan, right?
Yeah, I blew into town a couple of days ago. Just passing through, trying to get some information, I guess. Back where I just came from, they really didn't put this weird worm thing in this drink. What is this? It seems alive.
Yeah. It's kind of a local specialty around here. I know you didn't ask for it, but I figured as your resident tour guide as of the past few days, I'd treat you to something new. I could explain it, but it's probably better if you just give it a try. When you get down to the worm, don't be afraid to, use little teeth.
Ollie eyes the worm. So you're supposed to eat it? He comically closes one eye and puts one eye deep in the glass.
Mm-hmm. Kind of just gives you a nod.
Well, all right. Caulie takes another sip and looks around, I guess.
Yeah. She goes, I imagine you probably, like everybody else here, have some plans for the evening, but in the meantime, there were some people I think I wanted to introduce you to if you don't have anything going on right now. I just got on my break, so, I have an hour or two to kill. I was going to go meet some friends up the way for a little bonfire they're holding if you wanted to tag along.
All right. Ollie taps his hands on the he taps his fingers on the bar, does the impatient kind of thing. Goes, I'm a pretty busy guy these days. I'm looking for somebody, as I probably mentioned. But yeah, I think I could spare the time.
Great. She kind of grabs you by the wrist and is like, "Come on!" And she starts kind of dragging you up the beach a little bit. As you guys are,
beach, that's badass.
Yeah, like I said, it's all kind of beachside, oceanside villas, cabanas, that kind of deal. It's a huge beach resort kind of planet. So as you guys walk, she looks over her shoulder back at you as she leads you on. She says, they're actually a lot like you. They're all out of towners that come and visit periodically. You're much, much more green than them, much fresher. It's your first time here, so maybe they can show you the ropes a little bit. But
You mean all these bozos? And I point to a bunch of people sitting under like umbrellas.
yeah, yeah. She goes, yeah, they're off-worlders like you though, so maybe you'll find something you have in common. And after about a 5-minute trek up the beach of you guys making small talk and sort of her just leading the way, you come across a small site, a few foot deep dug sort of encampment in the beach as the startings of a bonfire are beginning to create a little bit of smoke. A good handful of people sit around it on various logs and foldable chairs. Coolers and drinks are flowing, and everybody's making light conversation and playing a few games. You see there's somebody tossing a football back and forth, and as you approach sort of the edge of this pit, Flo kind of clears her voice to a couple of the people, and she's like, "Hey guys, brought some fresh blood along for the ride tonight, and don't be too hard on him, huh?"
The blood. I didn't know there was going to be a sacrifice tonight. Am I right, guys?
Yeah, and she pushes you into the pit a little bit, and she goes, "Yeah, it's you. Get in here."
It pushes you into the fire.
Yeah, Caulie lights on fire. Roll initiative. But she pushes you into the group a little bit. Closes the distance, and you see a couple of people introduce themselves. One of them, this sort of tall, dark-skinned woman wearing a very thick red overcoat, introduces herself as Bisola. Of course, hi, I'm Bisola. You may have heard of my family. Everybody has, but don't let the reputation make me seem too intimidating. I'm very down to earth. I like your shorts. Very rugged and poor chic.
Yeah. Poor chic. Damn. Have I heard of her family? Is there like an intelligence roll in this game?
I guess we could do our first roll is give me a no check. No intelligence.
Got it. Okay. So I go to no intelligence, and how do I roll it, I guess?
Oh, here, 1 second. Let me turn you off edit. There you go. Now you can click it.
Okay.
Yeah, if you see the pencil in the upper left corner, if you tick on edit mode, you will be able to like change your stats around and stuff, but you won't be able to actually roll anything.
You mean the pencil in the upper right next to the
Sorry,
gear?
upper right, not upper left, yeah.
Yes, left of the gear, yes. Okay, so no intelligence roll. Modifier 0, I suppose?
Wow. Yeah, that's just for bonus things. A 4. All right, so just as a heads up too, in case you forgot, the way ability checks work, they 2d6, use the applicable stat. You can usually make a case for something else. Like if I say no intelligence, and you're actually like, I want to do a connect roll to see if I've heard of her. Yeah, like heard her through connections or whatever. I'd be like, you know what? I'll take that. So don't be afraid to bargain for something if you think it's applicable. Okay, same with like if I go no intelligence, and like I actually would like to use wisdom, then it's like, yeah, as long as there's a weak case that could be made, then it's usually good. This game is really open for that. And as far as the numbers, it's 2d6 plus minus shit, and you're looking for somewhere between a 6 and a 14. A 6, anything below a 6, I'm not going to ask you to roll for. A 6 is like a DC 10 in D&D. Okay. So something that's pretty easy to do.
So down I failed.
Yeah, and then a 14 is like a quote-unquote DC 30 in D&D, something that's like only like a really good trained pilot would be able to pull this maneuver, and even then, they probably fail like half the time. So that's the range we're working within, 6 to 14. So with a 4, unfortunately, yes, you have not heard of her family.
Yeah. Look, I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but I don't believe I've heard of your family, actually. Would you mind filling me in? I have quite the large ear, so I remember things quite quickly.
Bisola looks past you, back to Flo, who's just like, "Oh, where did you find this one? Under a rock? I like it." And she seems kind of like charmed a little bit by your. I don't actually know who you are. That's new to her, it seems. She says, "Yes, I am of the Bacassi family. We're proprietary tech developers, and basically, here, let me see." And she goes to like grab you by like the arm and investigate your like wrist bound like data pad, which is like basically your iPhone.
It's like that's my compad.
Yeah, your compad. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's so many different versions because there's like a data slab, a compad, you know, I think a data pad, and they're all essentially the same thing, but they do slightly different things and they're slightly different sizes. So like a compad. Let me double check this. We have
You can imagine like a Mass Effect arm, you know?
yeah, a data slab is a palm-sized computing device that can fold into a thin slab, roughly 1/3 of a meter, so a foot on each side. It can perform all the functions of a compad or a handheld computer. That's a data slab. So it's like almost like a data slab's like a fold-out laptop, weirdly enough. And then, sorry, I'm just looking for compad. Oh, host of different handheld portable community. So compad is the phone version. Yeah. Great. Sick. But yeah, she looks at your compad, and there is. Let me roll. Some dice real quick. 28. She looks at the branding of it, and it's not a Bacassi brand compad. She goes, "Oh, damn! I was sure you were a man of taste, but apparently not. Either way, anything technological we make under this anything technological under the sun we make. I'm sure you've used or owned one of our products and just simply aren't aware of it."
I wouldn't doubt that. I've come across it in my day. I've been around here and there. Quite the traveler, you know.
And at this point, another fellow wanders over, introduces themselves. "Oi, William Collins, nice to meet you. I like your vibe, man. Seem real relaxed. All about it. Have a drink." And he shoves a beer into your chest.
He what?
He puts a beer through your rib cage. Yep. Hey, Dukin, you know, or the fucking what's the
Caulie LeFlower.
yeah, that's the one.
Like, wow, what a drink. Oh, I hope. Hey, thanks, friend. I hope there's no worm in this one. Hey, Flo.
She gives you a chuckle and kind of rolls her eyes. Yeah. She's like, "Did you try the worm yet, though? Don't knock it till you try it."
Do I still have that? I'm imagining I still have that glass.
Yeah, you still.
Sure. Yeah. I finished.
You're double fisting.
Have a fucking live, gross ass space worm at the bottom. I'll try it in front of them. Can I do like a performance check to see if I can like act tough in front of act tough while I swallow this thing?
Yeah, I think performance charisma would be perfect.
Yeah, let's do it. Modifier 0.
You could also, I'd also like take con as well, but innate. Yeah, you internally fight off like the side twinge of the mouth to grimace. Like you want to, obviously, very badly, but it's you do it so well that it's nigh imperceivable. Your disgust as you eat this worm. As you bite into it, it has this slimy, gross exterior texture like you would expect of a worm to do. But as you bite into it, you get this extremely sweet sensation in your mouth, and it almost has a interior makeup of like cake. It's soft and spongy and very pleasant and totally unexpected, and you can tell also alcoholic. It's an alcoholic cake worm.
Man, they didn't have these back where I came from. This is awesome. He like slightly he burps and like slightly gags.
Flo kind of tosses her hair a little bit and is like, "See, I told you, never doubt me. I've been here for a long time. I know what's best for you, Caulie."
Yeah. All right. I'll trust the bartender. Then in that case, how's this brew? Space Surf brew ale.
It's a big cone. It's just a big Kona or Kona wave. It's still,
Just fucking. It's one of those like dashboard Hawaiian girls with with like the hula skirt.
yeah,
The grass skirt.
yeah. At the same time, William says, "Oh, it's delicious," and Flo goes, "It's piss." At the same time, but yeah.
Definitely drinking piss once or twice in my day. I didn't come for money, you know.
Well, it's not actually piss, but you could do better. I don't know why. And William kind of interjects. He's like, "I'm a man of the people. I like my drinks cheap and easy, like my women. Am I right, Caulie? You know what I'm talking about."
Yeah, Petrola.
She looks disgusted. Um, and so it goes. You are introduced to a couple of the other people sitting around the campfire. And you get a few drinks in, hanging out during the day, conversations flowing. You guys are just kind of in a classy beach hang, all you rich kids. During this time, Bisola, she kind of at one point kind of crosses over, freshens up your drink with one of her own, and she kind of leans in and she's like, "So, Mister, I don't know who you are and where you come from, and I've never heard of the famous Bisola before. Where, what are you doing here? You don't seem, you seem like you come from money, and you seem relaxed, but something tells me you're not here just to party."
Well, the name is Caulie LeFlower. I just blew into town a couple of days ago, coming from Horizon's Dawn, just one jump past here. I'm just a traveler of sorts. These days, you could say I'm trying to find somebody, trying to get some information, but I'm taking it cool and slow, not trying to rush too many things. This is the kind of place to really enjoy your time, as you guys know.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're looking for somebody, though? Perhaps a special lady? And she kind of cocks an eyebrow.
Yeah, Collie kind of. He doesn't grimace. He doesn't sigh or anything. He just kind of stares a little bit. He goes, "Yeah, you could say that."
Well, love is a hard thing to find, and I do not believe you are going to find it in this place. But maybe something that feels like love for a night or two, if you catch my drift.
Collie comically does like the fucking empty pockets thing. He like opens his pockets and they're empty. Like your pants have bunny ears now. He's like, "Yeah, I don't think I could afford such a night around here. Maybe I'll have to pick up a job or two."
uh, She's like, "I wasn't suggesting you paid for it. I just mean there's a lot of young, beautiful people in this city looking to cut loose."
Oh.
Though falling in love is, we all come here from time to time. William and I are very, we come here every few standard months, just to relax a little. But nobody's here for long.
So I take it you both come from families in high places.
Yes, like I said, of course, my family, big tech, lots of money, wealth, yada yada. And William's family over there is they are a pharmaceutical brand. A lot of the stims you may have injected or nose candy you may have partaken in over the years likely came from his family's laboratories.
Well, I'm not so familiar with the pharmaceuticals, but from where I came from, my family was pretty associated with a big laboratory, so maybe I'd understand a bit.
Oh yes, what do they do?
I wonder if he would be. I wonder if I would be reserved about this. Probably not, right?
Well, up to you. If Kali is street smart enough and sort of paranoid enough, there's a very real reason to think that like flaunting your name not only could potentially get you in places, but it could
Yeah,
also get you out of places. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And also, you are a little bit of a fugitive from your father to a degree.
mhm,
Like he probably wants to get you back, and
mm,
if anybody here is associated with them, which you doubt because these are all wealthy kids of, rich, powerful people, not rich, powerful people themselves so much.
yeah.
Um,
I guess it would be a case by case basis. I think in this case he would rock it. Um, yeah. My dad was a big time play in Godwater Labs, if that rings a bell.
um, she thinks for a moment. She's like, oh, yes, yes.
Yeah,
They make it the glass.
yeah. Collie like kind of does a little hand visor thing of a hat and looks off into the distance to like a top of one of the buildings. He says, "Yeah, you see it right up there? See how it's kind of got this rainbow effect to it? That's us."
Very good. Very well. I guess you come here to admire your family's work along with look for love, no?
You could say that.
Hmm. Um, and she she kind of thinks for a moment, and she's like, "I feel like there is something you're not telling me. Something about who Caulie LeFlower is. Uh, would you like to play a little get to know you game with me and my friend over there?" She kind of gestures towards William.
Depends if it involves any more worms. But
Any more words?
worms.
Oh, I was like, it's a get to know you game, but you can't talk.
Stare into my soul.
She goes, no, no, no worms. She,
Then yeah, I'll play.
yeah,
I'll,
and
I'll,
she
I'll play it.
calls William over, and she says, "Okay, we are going to spin a little bottle here, and whoever it lands on has to answer a difficult question. Yes? No?"
That's not how
Um,
they played it. How I grew up.
well, we do things a little different here. And she spins it around. Why don't you give me a D3? You're gonna be 1.
Okay.
She's 2, and William's 3.
Roll D3.
A 2. It lands on her. And she goes, ah.
Ah.
She goes, all right, Caulie LeFlower, what would you like to know? What deep, dark secrets would you like to know about the one and only famous Bisolva?
Can I notice if any part of her is like cyborg?
Yeah, she has cybernetics implanted in her face, kind of like a facial reconstruction surgery to like bring in the jawline a little bit, and kind of like permanent Botox to prevent the sagging of the eyes.
Huh.
She's kind of had a lot of beauty cybernetic work done. It's like a mix between getting like a tattoo on your face to like be like, look, this is cool and edgy, and also physically make yourself more attractive via these cybernetic implants.
All right, I've got one. You got any cybernetics I can't see? That's. I realize that could go so wrong.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with it.
And she cocks an eyebrow up and gives you a little smile, and she goes, "If you play your cards right, maybe you'll get to see them later." But yes.
I flash an eyebrow at William.
Yeah, and he leans in and he whispers to you very loud, stage whispers so that Basila can hear. He goes, "Yeah, she actually has an 8-inch cybernetic cock, so be on the lookout for that."
Don't make me jealous.
Yeah, and fucking Basila like punches him in the shoulder, and she's like, "Yeah, very good, very good. All right, go ahead. My turn." She'll spin.
Sure.
Rerolls on a 3 or rerolls on a 2 again. Gets William. She asks William. She's like, I already know so much about you. This seems unfun at this point. Right. When was the last time your family covered up one of your Bender felony nights again? When was the last time you were busted out of jail because of your money? And William thinks about it, and he's like, I think it was 2 weeks back. I had stolen top of the line Grav car out of a dealership that I was perusing, and crashed it into the side of a bakery. But don't worry, nobody was seriously injured. Not like last time. And they both laugh it off as if this is, casual Tuesday for them.
Caulie looks a little like taken aback by that, but he'll play along just to fucking play his cards in. He'll go, yeah, it's always more fun to put a little crime in something that you could do like casually,
Yeah, yes.
I love sneaking into shows rather than buying tickets. That's my big thing.
She starts to, Basila is like, yes, a man of culture, he gets it, and then you say that, and she's like, okay, well, maybe he's a little soft. We might need to really show you how to live while you're here, before you go. And
maybe you do. Let's say the money is a little new to me. You gotta show me how to really use it.
Well, I'm sure we'll be able to get into something quite nefarious later. The night is young, after all, as it is now just beginning to become sunset. The days here are quite short. You know that they're about 8-hour days. It's a very small planet, so it
okay.
Yeah. They spin again. William spins, and it begins to settle down, and it's about to land on Bisola again. Why don't you give me a notice wisdom check?
Okay.
Little perceiving.
Let's see. Notice wisdom. Yeah, sure. We'll play open. Oh,
with an 8. You're watching the bottle, and you see it's about to land on Bisola, and something kind of ticks out of the corner of your eye, and you see William kind of like furrowing his brow as he looks at the bottle. And you look back down, and the bottle continues to spin a little bit more, and it lands on you instead of where you thought it was originally going to stop. It goes a little bit further. So let's say, it was only a matter of time. Let's see, what can we ask the enigma that is Caulie LeFlower?
Yeah, Caulie will smile, and he'll just flash a smile. He won't object.
Well, here, because I feel like you're not telling us everything, why are you really here? I don't believe the love story.
How about a quick preface before that? You got any lie detectors in there? And they point at like her cybernetics. Like he kind of laughs it off and doesn't really wait for a response. He goes,
She laughs too.
Yeah. Well, let's just say I'm not much of a liar. The love was quite on the head, dude. You know what I mean? It was maybe not for a girl or a lover, but I'm looking for my mom. She's out there somewhere, and I'm not quite sure where these days. And kind of looks up to the sky.
Hmm.
Yeah.
A mama's boy, I see.
Uh, unshamefully so. Yes.
Well, I
Well,
suppose to each their own. You figure one who grows up with wealth grows to detest their parents, but I suppose that is not the universal human experience, as it seems.
hey, I said the money's new to us. I didn't
Mm,
grow up quite the money bags.
okay. Um. Well, I think that it's commendable that you are out here, and at this point, Flo kind of saunters over and, with zero regard for the conversation currently happening, interrupts Bisola. She goes, "Hey, do you guys want to get out of here? I just got a text from Simon, and he is back in town. He just landed from the spaceport a few hours ago, and he settled into his parents' villa up the way, and he is throwing a little shindig. Just reached out to invite everybody on over." And William kind of leaps up to his feet. He's like, "Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, Simon," and he looks at you, Caulie, and he's like, "Simon throws the best parties. His parents' villa has everything you could want. A pool, he says as you look behind him and there's the ocean right there. They have a pool. They have indoor tennis courts. They have a fully decked out virtual reality cyber deck to sort of generate whatever scenarios the heart may desire. An unguarded liquor cabinet with the rarest of the rare stuff. And they even have this weird helper bot that is just, he's just so fun to fuck with.
Oh my god. He likes fucking with the androids. This kid's a fucking issue, dude.
Also, Simon's a pretty cool guy too. And Bisola, she chimes in. She's like, "No, I'm sure you and Simon would get along quite well. I feel like you have a lot in common," she says, with kind of like a subtle undertone of knowingness.
Yeah. Is that so?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
That is
Wow.
so.
I was telling Flo before that I've got a couple things on my list that I need to check off, but I've still got some time. I'll tag along.
Very good.
He'll like hop to his feet and start. I guess if we're sitting around the fire, he'll start like kicking sand onto the fire. Is it a normal fire? Is it like a holographic fire?
It's a robot fire, yeah.
Yeah. Kick sand in its face.
Yeah, you kick robot sand on the robot fire to put it out and make sure you don't start any robot natural disasters. Yeah, you guys pack up your things for the most part, your belongings. There's still like a handful, like I said, there's a handful of people here, probably about maybe a dozen total. These are just the people you've been kind of hanging out with. And the group kind of gathers up their belongings over the next couple of minutes and starts heading up the way, up the beach side, towards Simon's parents' villa. And as you wander into the early night, you round a bend on the beach, the crashing of the gentle waves on the shoreline kind of creating this gentle ambiance. And you I just realized the music kind of cut out.
As like a side note, can I describe how we get there?
Sure.
Because I'm simply reading like the little tidbits that we get for our foci.
Yeah.
And one of mine is the Wanderer, which basically says you can convey basic ideas in all the common languages of this sector. You can always find free transport to a desired destination for yourself and a small group of friends, provided
Oh.
bodies
Okay.
can't
Yeah.
travel
Yeah.
to the place. And so if I could like flag down a cab or something, or if there's like this is a tourist resort, so I'm imagining they have some fun like group rides similar to the not a pedicab, but the like the 10-person biking things that they
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah, if could we like be some rambunctious teens and like hop on the side of one of those and sketch out like, yo guys, come on.
Yeah, they have these like sand crawlers where they're almost like these bug-like, they're mechanical cars basically, but they almost have like these, oh, it's a rocky kind of ride with like a grav stabilizer in the middle so you don't spill your drinks. But they have like these kind of big kind of crawly legs that you each operate one of, and it's just like like I said, one of those drunk bikes where everybody pedals, but yeah. You see there's a guy in the spirit of the Wanderer and Caulie. There's a guy biking back. He's operating one of these by himself, as he's like the main driver, right? And you flag him down. He's like, "Oh, I'm going on my way back to the shift house, though." And you sweet talk him into giving you one quick ride. And
I'll flip you a couple creds if you take us to this one spot.
he looks at you and your friends. You flash him a smile, and your tooth just kind of sparkles a little, and he's like, "All right." And you manage to get some free transportation as everybody's like, "Whoa!" as they hop on this bike and start, pounding a few more drinks on their way to the party. Yeah, they're fun to operate. They're bouncing around on the beach. And within a few minutes, yeah, you round the bend and you see what is a just magnificent looking oceanside mansion with a floating dock, vaulted ceilings and skylights, French doors, Roman and Greek pillars outside to just accent this place. You notice there's a massive Dawn's Gleam statue of a man, kind of featureless, it's not incredibly detailed, but a man riding like a bucking bronco, like a horse. It's like mid buck, and he's like, woo, having a good time, one hand up in the air.
Damn.
And it's like about 10-12 feet tall, and it's entirely made out of Dawn's Gleam, which is,
wow.
That's a shit ton of it.
Holy shit, yeah. Caulie himself is even kind of like taken aback by this.
Yeah, like that must have cost.
Yeah, you see, this was all part of my dear old dad's doing, and when he says dear old dad, he gets a little sarcastic.
Yeah. Flo, kind of, again, just as she does, pushes more drinks into your hand, hands you another drink. She's like, "Yeah, we all hate our parents. Join the club." You guys saunter up the steps to Simon's place, and sort of William's like, "All right, should we give him a voice call, let him know we're here?" And Flo says, "Nah, don't worry about it." And you watch as she actually wanders over, and she quickly like fidgets with the door a little bit and just like lock picks the way in real quick. So he's expecting us. It's fine. And she swings the doors open. "Simon, the party has arrived." And you hear from the other room, "Oh, yeah. Come on in. Yeah, hell yeah." and you hear some splashing of water as the group kind of saunters around through the a couple of rooms before they eventually make it to the sort of pool area, the indoor pool area. While you're wandering through the first couple of rooms of this mansion, you notice even more Dawn's Gleam, like chandeliers, wall sconces, small figurines of dogs on tables, like paperweights. And there seems to be a lot of accenting of this special glass in this home.
Jesus. So what did this guy's dad do again? What did his parents do?
His dad, don't. Flo turns around and she's like, don't even bring up his dad, okay? Like, maybe it's a bit of a touchy subject. Like I said, we all hate our parents, right? Well, Simon's a bit of a special case, so it's probably best to avoid that topic.
All right, noted.
But other than that, like I said, or well, like Basola said, you guys have a lot in common. Maybe you'll get along. And again, yeah, very, very fanciful kind of Rococo style, very old world architecture. These big vaulted ceilings with like beige sort of walls with dark sort of oaken mahogany accents. Lots of fanciful little like artifacts and like shields and masks and strange little like just floating cubes and gizmos kind of decorating bookshelves. It looks like this person is just like the people who own this house, Simon's parents, are just like big collectors of bullshit. You know what I mean? And you can probably gather that with the glass too. It's just like, oh, they just like expensive, rare things.
Yeah, they've just got money to blow.
Yeah. And you round the corner and you see a man in a tight Speedo swimming laps. Mr. Simon. He's got a shaved side of his head and kind of like a red mullet looking deal. Cybernetic arm made of very sleek, refined steel. And he pops out of the pool, starts drying himself off, and he's like, well, mi casa is su casa, so make yourselves at home, ladies and fellas. Here, let me let's get the proper order started. If anybody has any requests, and you see he looks up into the corner of the room, and your eyes kind of naturally follow where he's looking, and you see he's looking towards a camera, and he kind of just taps his temple twice with his like index finger real quick to give a signal, and the camera shifts a little bit, and within like a second or two of this interaction, this floating robot comes zipping into this room. This sort of dome, spherical robot with a grav propulsion base to make it float, and like about 8 arm appendages as well. I mean, honestly, look at the art, and it's a Mr. Handy from Fallout. Essentially, is the way it kind of looks. Yeah. Zhuzhed up and fancied up a little bit in the world, because this is a really high tech looking thing, honestly. But that's the base. Mr. Handy is definitely the base of what this thing is like made of shape-wise. And it says, H3P L4R at your service. What can I do for you, Master Simon? And Simon says, Helper, why don't you go ahead and take all my friends' orders here? Whatever they want, drinks, food, rare animals, go ahead and bring it to them. And they start it starts going around taking the guests' orders, the dozen of you that have arrived.
I'll keep quiet. I wanna judge what everyone else is ordering first.
Okay. Most people are just kind of ordering fizzy cocktails, kind of fanciful versions of them with like oh, make sure you smoke it, and let's get let's get this exotic worm in it kind of deal. Like they're just, a lot of fruity kind of kid versions of cocktails that are just overcomplicated for the sake of being overcomplicated.
It's a really, really fancy Shirley Temple.
Yeah, or like the espresso martini, but let's get smoke on it and see if we can get some. I don't know. I'm trying to sci-fi up these drinks and like, what's the process for that? I don't know.
like a sugar salt rim, but the sugar and salt is one thing rather than two separate things because we've invented that now.
Yeah, and lots of that small stuff too. It's like you could just get a martini, but it's like, oh, let's make sure you get salt on the rim, and let's make sure you do this and this and this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it gets to you. And what can I get for you this evening?
I'm feeling a little fruity. Could I get an appletini? But could I get those apples from 3 planets over? The what were they called? Strarples? Just a couple slices of those in there.
We will use the in-house fabricator to generate the closest approximation humanly imaginable of Sharple apples. Right away, sir. And at this point, it gets over to William, who's like, yeah, I'd love a, and he looks over you, Caulie, as if to give you a knowing glance about, hey, I love to fuck with robots. He's like, why can't you get me a basic old-fashioned, but go ahead and give it a splash of psych in there, a shot of psych intermixed within, and how about a just a diamond encrusted rim, a diamond salt rim. And you see the robot kind of processes this for a minute, because what he has just asked for is, can you give me a cocktail with a like military grade PCP inside of it and crush up a bunch of diamonds and put it on the rim. Yeah. And it thinks for a moment and it says, I will be processing your order intermittently while I organize the rest of the drinks for the other guests. Please be patient with your H3P L4R unit. And it begins to slowly retreat into the darkness behind you, just into an unlit room where it's gonna presumably go make everybody else's drinks. At this point, Simon is doing the rounds, making his presence as host sort of known, and the party inevitably kind of kicks off. People start doing laps in the pool. People start playing beer pong and table tennis. People are playing drinking games. People are wrestling in one room. They're just like roughhousing, listening to music, jamming out on a bunch of antique instruments. There's like a recording studio almost where they just have like, a bunch of like signed guitars and pieces of drum kits and stuff like that. Everybody's just kind of milling about the house, separating out. People start arriving. There's maybe 20, 25 people here. It's a small party, but everybody's kind of getting to relax a little bit. What's Caulie kind of focusing on during this time as we kind of fast forward like a few hours?
I think if anything, he'd probably bounce around. If there were new faces to meet, he'd probably meet some new faces. If anything, I think he would probably glue to Simon the host. Maybe not glue to him, but like if there's an opportunity to drift towards him, I think I would make my way there.
Sure, yeah. At one point, you are making your way around the party, kind of interacting with people, getting to know some basic facts about some people, exchanging some stories here and there, telling some jokes, and you wander into like the music area, this little recording studio they have, and Simon is like playing some electric guitar for some folks. A couple of people sitting down. Another guest is on this like mini drum kit, this like kind of floating cyber drum kit where it's just the drums are, and they're just finishing up a set or whatever, and as everything kind of calms down, they play the final riff, play the final chord, and Simon sets the guitar down, dabs up the drummer. He kind of locks eyes with you for a second, and it was like, oh yeah, hey, what's up there, pal? I don't think we properly got to be introduced. I'm Simon, nice to meet you.
Yeah, what's going on, dude? Thanks for opening your doors to such a stranger. You do this often?
Oh yeah, every time I'm in town. My family has villas like this all over the sector pretty much. So and I travel around a lot. So whenever they're not here, if I have an excuse to trash the place a little, well, it's a welcome invitation, if you ask me.
Sounds pretty sick. I guess you get your little helper to clean it up after yourself then, huh? No.
Oh no, I give him explicit instructions not to clean anything up else anything up at all after my guests so kindly mildly destroy my place.
One more thorn in the red side, just the way I like it.
What's your deal? What's your name?
Name's Caulie LeFlower. Just blowing through town these days. I'm on my way around, just looking for a place to settle down, you could say. I just basically blew off my dad because he was being a real prick up back on. Actually, don't think I gave myself a home planet. I gave myself a hometown, or the town it all started in Horizons Dawn. Just blew off my dad. He was being a real prick back in Horizons Dawn, so I fled there. Took as much as I could take and just ran. So not really sure where I'm going these days.
As you say that, why don't you give me a notice wisdom check?
Okay. Five.
Yeah, Simon's just kind of standing in front of you, nodding, his arms crossed. He's like, "Oh yeah, Caulie LeFlower, Horizons Dawn. Hate your dad. Cool, man." And he kind of slaps you on the shoulder a little bit. He's like, "Hey, I actually just remembered. I gotta go catch up with Lisa. I don't know if you met Lisa. I don't know if you met her, but she was asking about something earlier, and I needed to follow up on that. So make yourself at home. Smash a guitar or two if you want. Holler if you need anything." And he kind of like jets out of there real quick.
Okay.
Busy host. And yeah, you kind of mill about for a little bit real quick, and at one point you are wandering from room to room and round a corner and almost collide with Flo. And she goes, "Oh, I was actually just looking for you. There is something really cool I wanted to show you in this mansion. I don't think you've probably seen it yet because nobody's been going upstairs. It's upstairs, but you should come check this out. I think you in particular are gonna love this."
Let's go check it out. The way Simon sounded, I don't think anywhere is off limits.
No, it never is. And she kind of leads you upstairs where, yeah, there's just a very few number of people kind of milling about. A couple of people like at the top of the banister, kind of leaning on, the stairs, just chatting it up. But there's not much to do up here. There's like some bathrooms and some like, recreational rooms, but all the interesting stuff primarily is downstairs. And she leads you down a long hallway, around a corner, around another corner. This house is a fucking maze, you think to yourself, as she takes you past many rooms. And she opens the door to what appears to be essentially the master bedroom of the house. And she's like, "Yeah, it's just in here, honestly." And she kind of starts wandering in.
All right. I mean, I follow. I'm not really suspicious at this point.
Great. She lights you on fire.
Caulie, yeah. I mean, Caulie as a young man is like, oh, master bedroom, eh? But he's playing it cool.
Okay. Yeah. And she goes, yeah, the thing about this, and essentially, not to to get you know, not to essentially flirt with the homie here, but she makes her way over to the bed and she starts talking about the elasticity of the mattress, and she asks you to come check it out. And as you get closer to sort of just oblige and play along, she leans in and she goes to kiss you. Do you oblige, reject, pull back?
Yeah. Caulie accepts.
Okay, cool. So you guys start making out a little bit. And you do one of those things where you kind of just crack your eyes open for a second as you guys are, just fooling around a little bit. And something catches your eye out of the corner of the room. On the bedside table, there is a photo, a framed photo of a bunch of people. It seems to be some sort of like about a dozen people, all wealthy businessmen in their mid 40s to 50s, 60s. And you notice some faces you don't recognize, but then you spot Joseph Godwater, as well as your dad and your mom, all posed for this nice group photo.
Okay. Shit, yeah, I think Caulie will probably not jump up from the bed, but probably freeze for a sec. Enough for Flo probably to notice if I just
Yeah, she pulls back and she's like, "Was it too much tongue or?"
No. It's not you. Remember I said I was looking for someone to Bisola earlier. That's I'm kind of struck. That's her in that photo right there. That's my mom.
She looks so. She's like, "Fucking, what are you touching?" She looks over at the photo. She's like, "What? Oh." There's a minute where it's like, "You're focused on the decor in the room right now, really?" And
No.
it kind of hits her for a second, and she's like,
It's not
"Oh,
you, I swear. It's a me.
yeah." I thought your name was Caulie. She looks over and oh. And she kind of at this point gets up and crosses over and she picks the photo up and she's like, "What, this one here?" And as she kind of holds the photo up a little bit closer, yeah, you recognize, like I said, your dad is there. He has his arm wrapped around your mom. Joseph Godwater is on the other side of your mom. And there's about another 6 businessmen, some of which you vaguely recognize and some of which you don't. You gather it's a Godwater Labs kind of higher up corporate photo kind of deal. Like, hey, we're the founders, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you've seen these guys just in the house once or twice growing up. And you notice one thing in particular that is like a little interesting, in that in this photo your mom is actually, why don't you give me a notice wisdom check again to see what you can analyze about this photo.
Ooh.
And you remember right before things went down at home, your dad and your mom had their 20th wedding anniversary. They then went on a business trip while you were out of their 20th anniversary. You left town to go hang out with some friends, do a little getaway thing. You came back, had the place to yourself for a few days. While you were gone, they went on a business trip, your parents. Few days after, you were chilling at home, like I said. Your dad came back, your mom did not. For the 20th anniversary, your dad got your mom a Dawn's Gleam necklace, uh, shaped like what's the word I'm looking for? Shaped like an angelfish. So this was something that she got essentially right before she went missing, and she's wearing it in this photo. So this is a very, very recent photo.
That's a big clue.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I guess I'd never seen that necklace before on her. Sorry, I didn't mean to ruin the mood or anything. This just this is kind of the whole reason I'm out here. This is something pretty big. We can get back to it if you want.
I mean, do you want to? Are you okay? I mean, this is I guess I never put together. Maybe I don't know. All this, and she kind of gestures to the photo, is kind of above me. I tend bar, but if that's your mom, and then she points over one person to Joseph Godwater, she goes, "That's Simon's dad."
Motherfucker. He doesn't say that out loud. That's Nick. Wait, that's Simon is
Simon Godwater.
The party we're at is a Godwater party.
We're in his house right now, and she points to Joseph.
Oh.
I didn't realize your, I guess, proximity to all this. I just thought you were another rich yuppie. But
no, it's not you. I guess I'm just surprised. I thought I would have at least run into Simon at some point. Like he doesn't. I've never met him before in my life. He doesn't look familiar at all. And it all originated on the planet I just came from. I was there for 4 years. You'd think that he would. Wow, I guess I realized why.
Yeah, Simon's estranged from his dad, so it makes sense that if your dad and his dad did business. I mean, Simon's never been around his dad much, so.
Oh. Yeah, Caulie's got a. That's good. That's interesting. Wow, and then. Sorry, I'm just a little struck. Would you mind if I took that photo from you for a sec?
She she looks a little flabbergasted at this point, and she's like, "Yeah, go for it." And she extends the photo out. You take it, and she kind of like does one of those like mouth trills where it's like the. As like she's kind of like disappointed the way that like this isn't how I thought my night was gonna go, and she kind of meanders around the room for a little bit as you're examining. She starts like poking around and shit while you're looking at this photo. She's like, "All right."
My game plan here was take the photo. If this is some sort of just like, is this like a fancy photo frame? Is it holographic? Does it look like it's a physical photo?
Yeah, it's a physical photo. It's old school enough that it's a really nice fancy frame. It's made out of like very sleek, cool titanium, but there's no, I guess, tech components to this.
Did I get the photo?
Yeah, you unscrew the back, and you you are able to pull the photo out. You notice as you do this, you unscrew the back, and you're able to see the back of the photo for the first time. Before you pull out of the picture frame, and it's got a short list of it's got a just the word, actually, just one word written on the back of it, and it is. We haven't established this, I don't think, but it's what's your mom's name?
Ember.
Timber.
Ember. Ember.
Oh, okay. It just says the word Ember written on the back of this photo, handwritten.
Fuck. Okay, here. Like this is one thing I'm gonna do. I have this file that I wrote of my backstory. I'm gonna drop that in the Discord just so you can get all the stuff that I wrote. I guess I could put it in here. But yeah, her name is Ember. Here, so can I be? There you go. You can read that at your leisure. But yeah, her name is Ember. All I really want to do is take that photo, pocket it for now, because that could be huge. Knowing that Simon, like I now know the son of fucking. In my thing, I wrote it as Brimley. You called him Joseph. Doesn't matter.
Oh, I thought we didn't. Yeah, because you said something Godwater, and I was like, okay, so I'm just gonna make it up.
Because even I forgot while I was away from my computer this morning. Yeah, but now that I know his son, that's fucking incredible. If he hates his dad, that's even more incredible. I really just want to pocket this photo, look at Flo, and be like, hey, so look, so like, I just got to be straight here. I totally blew the mood. Like hands down, completely on me. Can I get you a drink? Maybe we try again later.
She kind of again, she's like meandering around the room while you're like taking apart this photo for a quick minute, and you open it up and you see Amber, and you're like, huh? And this, this whole process takes like a minute or two, and she's like just picking shit up and putting it down, examining these little graph cubes and stuff that they have on display. And at this point, she turns around and she's like, huh? Oh, sure, why not? She seems kind of exacerbated at this point, and she's like, dealer's choice. You can get whatever you feel like the mood requires. And she at this point, and she like leans on. There is a glass sconce, and there's a lot of these throughout the house, but it's made out of, Dawn's Gleam. It's jutting out of the wall. Serves as like mood lighting when turned on, right? She leans on it, and it kind of shifts 15 degrees to the right, as if on like a pivot or an axle of some sort. Mm-hmm. And she's like thrown off balance for a quick second, almost like she's about to like fall over to the floor. She's like, oh shit. Like, her the point she was about to lean on kind of collapses in on. Mm-hmm. And as she kind of regains herself, recenters herself rather, you see the wall she's next to, that is next to this sconce, begins to rumble and slide open, depressurize, and reveal itself to be a secret chamber of sorts, rather.
There's a secret lair.
Mm-hmm. And it slides open to reveal a dark, dimly blue lit, sort of metallic chamber where cool air begins to seep out of.
Whoa.
Flo's like, oh, I've been in here a couple of times and I've never seen that.
It's He'll like crack a smile, give her like a side eye, lower his shades a little bit, be like, "You want to check it out?"
You first.
Yeah, I'll make my way. Can I roll a stealth check?
Sure. And give me, I think, to leave it sneak dexterity.
Yeah, sneak dex. Yeah, as I make my way down. Mm-hmm. Just tippy toeing, kind of clinging to the walls.
6. As your flip-flops are on the cool metallic floor, clap a little bit. You give them the old Luffy treatment,
Yeah.
Dude, that shit cracks me up. That video of like, you can't tell me all the enemies here, Luffy, or this as Luffy comes to clap their asses, and it's just like, one of his stupid sandals. But yeah, you do your best. It's hard. It's very, it's like I said, cold metal floor. So there's like you get the reverberation every time a foot hits the floor, pretty much. Um, but you walk in and it's maybe a 5 foot long metal hallway that leads out to it then leads into a on a corner rather, so 5 feet, and then you turn a right, and instead of it being another hallway, it is just a small room. It's almost like a panic room, and the only thing really in here, it's about like maybe 10 by 10 feet at the most, and the only thing in here appears to be what can only be described as a supercomputer. Just like 6 monitors, all dimly lit with different diagnostic screens and programs running. One of them, the center bottom one, is just kind of on like the desktop where you can like then access programs and do Google searches if you want, I guess. You have the desk itself with the interface built into it, entirely made out of Dawn's Gleam as well. Very touch cybernetic based.
Oh, is this guy some sort of like? I knew he was smart, but I didn't know he was on like evil genius levels. I thought he just got lucky.
I mean, maybe this is like just maybe this is where he does his insider trading. Maybe it's innocuous for a rich guy or something. I don't know. As you kind of examine these monitors, you notice one of them, the upper right, bunch of security camera footage. You can see the people downstairs partying. You notice some stock graphs on the upper left. Some other data analysis and long-term searches running where it's like something's just chewing through code, like lines of code. And then you see in the center, there is, like I said, the bottom center is kind of just the desktop. And you see that there's like interface options to open documents, like anything that this owner has been like creating essentially my documents on your computer. Systems to run scans on the house, as well as a few other programs. And one jumps out to you. It's just kind of strange because you don't know what it is. It just says run ULF protocol. ULF protocol. You don't know what it means. But there's...
What do you think this is? He's just thinking out loud, kind of.
Yeah, I don't know. ULF, maybe?
Oof.
Yeah, run the ULF.
Oh, God, he acts like a seal.
Yeah. Flo's like, yeah. Very, very good, Caulie.
You still want to have sex?
Yeah.
All right, so there's security cameras recording the entire house.
Yeah, you've seen them. You've seen them throughout the house. Simon has acknowledged them as a way to get the robot to respond. Yeah. To like, hey, so the robot's keyed into these security cameras, so they're all over the place. And this seems to be almost like a data center, like a hub for some of that, along with some other things.
Paulie starts to kind of think out loud. He's like, if that robot knows when Simon was calling, he gets a little bit quiet. He's like, do you think it would notify Brimley or my dad that I'm here? This might not be good. But what is this ULF thing? There's nothing else on the computer that explains what ULF is. It's just like from what I can tell, it just looks like I either run this or I don't.
You could search through the documentation. You could start trying to go into the inner workings of the computer and just like start searching through what's on there.
I mean, we're here. Might as well.
Okay. Why don't you give me I'm gonna say a program check. Yeah, I just wanted to see if there's anything better than program. I'm gonna say program int is gonna be my pick. If you'd like to make a case for something else, you can.
Can I do a punch strength?
if
Just slam
you
my
want to,
hands on the keyboard?
if you want to beat the computer open and see if there's any data on the inside.
Tell me all your secrets. Connect, exert, fix, heal. No, that seems like it would be the best.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
screw it. Not like anything else is much better. Everything's a -1 pretty much.
Hmm.
Oh, wait. So I'm an expert. Can re-roll a failed skill check. Pretty sure the 3 is a guaranteed fail. Can I re-roll that?
Yep, you absolutely can. You're going to use your once per scene ability for that.
Fuck.
And a 9 instead of a 3. There you go. Here's what I think happens. You go to access the documents and just like, that's the baseline. Like, this is how I'm going to get information. I'm going to see what he's putting in, or, what's being put in this PC. It immediately comes with a password. Must enter password. And that is where your 3 comes in. You're like, shit. And you're like, Godwater? Wrong.
Yeah.
You have two more tries left.
Okay.
What were you?
Are you asking me to?
I'm gonna say in this case, yeah. I want to see if you can. You're like, I don't know, Godwater, and it's like, oh shit, and then it tells you, oh, you only have 3 tries, and you just used your first. Like, shit, wait a minute. You think on it for a minute.
Okay. It could be. He doesn't really like his son, from what I can tell, so it probably wouldn't have anything to do with Simon. It might have something to do with Dawn's Gleam, and it might have something to do with, what was the name of the town? It was Horizons something.
Horizons Dawn.
Horizons Dawn and Dawn's Gleam.
Yeah.
I didn't overlap that word there. I think those would be my 2 other tries, if anything. I'd probably try Dawn's Gleam and then Horizons Dawn, I guess.
Okay. You punch in Dawn's Gleam. You only have 1 try left.
Wow.
You go to punch in Horizons Dawn, and Flo puts a hand on your shoulder, and she's like, wait. I think something bad could happen if we get this wrong. Are you sure about this? I don't think it's work related.
Look, this could. I don't know. This could show me where my mom is at. Caulie will look around the room. He'll be like, I don't see any guards or guns or anything. And if there are, we just kind of make a quick escape. Besides, if we destroy the room, it would just make Simon happy.
Yeah, it would. But I'm just saying, you might get locked out and not get to know what you want to know if you get this wrong.
Well, either I try this.
This is my divine intervention with your 9. My way of saying, don't do that other one. don't do Horizons Dawn. It's not the name of the town that he's from.
Yeah.
She goes, he's a rich businessman. But but he has everything that he could possibly want at this point. I doubt it's what would be important to him? Who would be important to him?
The password is money.
She goes, what would be important to him, or who would be important to him?
I guess Simon, right? Maybe he's trying to protect him.
That's not true. As you say it, it rings false out of everything you know about Simon and his dad's relationship. You both look at each other, you and Flo, and you're like, that's not it. No.
Wait. Caulie halts for a sec. He goes, it couldn't be, could it? I want to try typing in Ember.
EMBER. Click. Ding. Access granted.
No fuck. No fucking way. This piece of shit. Oh my god. Okay, what do you want with my mom, dude?
You start sifting through so much data. A lot of it is very boring. A lot of it is inconsequential. You tell me what seems important to you.
I think
there are sections that say, well, sorry, what seems important to you out of these? There are sections that read Godwater patents, the Uzumaki deal, something about a new villa being constructed, like a vacation house that he's building.
Mhm.
There are sections about New Texas regulations changing. There are sections about the Veruca-Thrax War. There are sections about Godwater expansion into the new Alliance of Terra. And then there are also sections on experimentation with the Auroralis cluster.
Those are my options.
Yeah, to investigate further. Yeah.
Okay. Godwater patents, Uzumaki deal, new villa, new Texas regs, experimentation. Maybe. I think I'm gonna go for Godwater patents because I could probably learn more about Dawn's Gleam, which would
Okay.
probably have something to do with my mom.
Why don't you give me another? I need a check to analyze these docs, essentially. So I think I'd take program in. I think I would also take notice whiz or notice int. I would also, you know what? This is the other thing. I'd take administer as well, honestly.
Anything is, it's all the same right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all the same. So I'll just go with program int to just keep it consistent.
Cool.
Big money.
It's the most funny one. And 8, you scan this document, and so many documents, and a lot of it is legalese. A lot of these are legitimate patents or whatever. However, while you don't find anything about your mom, the one interesting thing you do find is boring official documents. When scanned closely, you see that there is a clause in one of the legalese sections of a redacted document that states that Dawn's Gleam is extremely unstable when in high neon environments. When this glass is presented with a neon gas, whether it be in an atmospheric condition or in a condensed sort of lab experiment, the glass becomes structurally unstable and extremely dangerous. And you can tell, based on the context of this document and where it is and how far you had to scan for it, this is something that Godwater Labs is actively covering up.
Oh. Shit. Maybe that's what my mom found. Maybe this is something that she knew, and this is why she's gone.
Flo leaning very close and looking over your shoulder at these documents as well. It was like, could be. I mean, I never got the full story on what even happened, but if she's missing and she knew something she shouldn't, then... Well, I don't want to sound pessimistic, but that also puts us in a bit of danger at this point as well, I think. She goes, what else is on here? As you can continue digging. What else seems important to you?
So, outside of Godwater patents?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's Uzumaki deal, new villa, new Texas regs, Veruca-Thrax War, Godwater expansion experimentation. The protocol that we were gonna run was like ULF, right?
Yeah, I should also, just because I know where you're probably about to go with this, it's Uzumaki with a Y in front of it.
Okay, yes, that is exactly where I was going with this. I was like,
yeah. I was like, you misspelled it there. Doesn't matter, but yeah. So the U will not stand for Uzumaki and ULF, whatever the fuck ULF is.
I think Godwater expansion, experimentation, or yeah, maybe Godwater expansion.
Okay. Give me another program int check.
Okay. Let's keep rolling big, baby. Fuck yeah, dude. I've
Okay,
only
a
rolled like
9.
threes, eights, and nines this whole time.
Yeah, really weird. We did Connor's. Connor was rolling like a fucking monster. Like he was getting 14s and 11s basically every roll. The lowest he got was like a 5 one time. I was like, oh my god.
Jesus.
Um, but yeah, you scan. Unfortunately, Godwater expansion seems to be a dead end. For the most part, it is just a lot of standard expansion plans about markets to breach out into, and it references some of these other doc sections. Essentially, it's documents on documents about like, oh, this is the market we're trying to expand to. This is the brand identity we're trying to build. It's all very straightforward, boring business stuff. Oh, let's get, you know, this into the hands of more people, but in an exclusive sense. So we're still, like, marketable and we're still Rolex fancy. But also we're still making more money, blah, boring. You are, it's flagged two things, flag for you to give you potentially a notation on what to look at next. Within these documents, you notice, related to some of the other sections, under the expansion kind of umbrella, there is mentions of trying to get lots of Dawn's Gleam out to quote unquote my new villa. And there is and trying to expand Godwater's influence in that sector, or that section of the sector, wherever that is. You're not sure yet. And then also something about the Uzumaki deal in terms of expansion. The Uzumaki deal is supposed to facilitate the expansion, apparently, but you're not sure what that is beyond that.
Okay. Yeah, I guess next I want to check out the new villa because that seemed to be a pretty important note. If he wants Dawn Gleams in the new villa, maybe my mom is being held there or something.
As you log into this section and start examining these documents, you initially probably think that, oh, well, he probably just wants a bunch of Dawn Gleam for his new villa because look at the villa you're in now. It's filled with the shit, right?
Yeah.
Which also makes you a little concerned as you are like scanning these docs, because you realize this villa is filled with the shit. You hope there's not any neon around because apparently you're in a bomb house. But you start scanning the new villa sections, and you see just paperwork on paperwork of construction permits and problems and quotes and on building and whatnot. Detailed construction, details of sourcing, because it's a very complicated process because he's building his houses out of the most exotic and fancy materials possible. But you notice the villa is going to be located on Saragon 2, and it states that Joseph will be staying with his new fiance for the next several months upon the villa's completion while the Uzumaki deal completes. This document that sort of dates this little journal entry where he's like, or rather business email where he tells people, oh, I'm going to be here for the next few months. It's dated about 2 weeks ago. It says construction of the villa should complete in 2 weeks. So construction should have just completed, and he'll be there for 2 more months with his new fiance.
Okay. Can you just spell Saragon for me?
Sarragon.
Got it. Saragon 2. Staying with
Yeah.
new fiance while the Uzumaki deal completes. Will be there for the next 2 months.
Yeah. So you know potentially where to find Joseph for 2 more months.
Shit, that's huge. Gotta go beat him up. It's also fucking dangerous because he guarantees has fucking security.
Yeah. As you make a mental note of this, you're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, this is actually kind of interesting. And you navigate out of this and you're like, okay, maybe I should look at the Uzumaki deal, or maybe I could look at the experimentation with the Royales, because all of the docks begin to remotely shut down via no input of yourself. Things just, programs begin closing out on the computer rapidly, one after the other. And you kind of are locked out of control. And you watch as essentially the desktop begins to clear itself and remotely shut down. Do you do anything immediately?
Probably take my hands off the keyboard and go like, whoa, 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 what's happening?
Yeah. Flo's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
The computer essentially locks up, and you watch as essentially programs are just removing themselves from the desktop, and it's one after the other in rapid succession until only one remains: the ULF protocol.
Oh no, dude, don't.
And then it
Really?
stops, and it sits there. Nothing happens. There's a moment of silence, and Flo's like, well, it stopped. I think it's done. Should we just get out of here? Or?
I mean, I gotta see what this is. It could be huge for me, you know. It could be massive. It look, I know if you, I get it if you don't want to like stay here. This could get dangerous, but this is kind of. I didn't realize this is why I was here, but this is kind of why I'm here, you know.
Okay. Well, okay. If you think it's important to do it, let's do it. And she kind of grabs you by like the back of the hand a little bit and navigates your hand towards the controls.
Grabs you by the wiener.
Yeah, she grabs you by the cock. Says, press it with your balls.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
Let's take a picture of your dick and put it on Joseph's computer so when he comes in to open his photos next time he sees your dick.
Let's go full brain in his bed and then leave the photo in his bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll run the ULF protocol. Let's see what happens.
Okay. You double click it and it's like a confirmation message pops up. Are you sure you want to run the ULF protocol?
Oh, dude, and the ominous space music kicks in. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's run it. Let's see what happens.
Click. ULF Home Defense Protocol activated.
Oh my god, no.
Wow. As the room shifts from a cool blue to a deadly red. You see on the security cameras via the monitor you're granted access to, the exterior windows and doors begin to shut. Force Pavis, essentially fields, like force fields, with a dull blue glow emanate over each of the windows and doors as metal shutters shut down over those. In order to exit through a normal door, you will have to somehow navigate a force field and then somehow get past this metal shutter. Same goes for any of the other exterior doors or windows. Any conventional means of egress from this house immediately clank shut. People on the security cameras jump and shudder as these loud bangs ripple throughout the house. Oh my god, what's happening? Everybody begins to freak out. You also watch as people in the pool area, the sides of the room where you would walk around the pool, raise and slope inward, becoming incredibly sleek metal. Everybody on the exterior of the pool is now swept in, almost as if via a slide that sweeps them into the pool. The pool then begins to churn and whoosh as it creates a whirlpool, and people are being sucked to the bottom of it, not to come up. You don't know what happens, but you see the water begin to turn red via the security cameras. You watch as people hanging out in the kitchen, gas begins to emanate from the kitchen vents above the ovens. They cough, they hack their lungs up, they begin to expel blood from their facial orifices as they collapse onto the ground. And most importantly, and perhaps most concerningly, you watch as good old H3P L4R begins to turn on the guests. Activating plasma cannons, distortion cannons, and essentially sweeping house room by room as you have nothing to do but watch in horror from your security room. The faint screams echo through the mansion and can be heard not through the security cameras, which are soundless, but through your own auditory senses as they happen a few 100 feet away, a few hallways down. Chaos begins to reign as essentially the house turns on everybody, seemingly except for Simon.
Yeah. That was my next question. Like, where's Simon?
Yeah, you watch as Simon is essentially, he's in a group of about 4 people, and he's taking drinks from the helper bot, and it snaps and flicks one of its external arms into a plasma cannon, which you don't understand how that was actually... This thing was not equipped with weaponry, as far as you could tell. It just had, like, appendages, and it seems to manifest it from nowhere, as if magic, or, I guess, hyper advanced technology that you're unfamiliar with, as it blows one guest away, turns a flamethrower on another 2 guests, as Simon staggers back and collapses onto the floor, scooting away from this thing. Helper looks down at him and turns away to go on to wreak havoc in the rest of the house. As you stand there with a slack-jawed, horrified expression, I'm imagining, you hear a murmur at first that slowly begins to grow louder as you realize it's Flo's voice as she's calling out your name. Caulie, 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 and you snap back to it as she spins you around, and she's like, what the fuck? What did you do? What
did I do? What did we do? We didn't mean to do that. And I just pointed all the screens. No, you turn it off. I tried to click it again.
Yeah, the computer is completely shut down as you're interacting with the interface, and you're frantically trying to kind of get anything out of this, a mouse wiggle, whatever, but unfortunately just on the monitors, aside from the security cam footage you can kind of see, it's just everything is locked up. ULF protocol in progress, do not interfere, is just kind of like a blanket statement on there. And as you're frantically trying to bypass this message, Flo is kind of just yelling at you over your shoulder. She says, I said we should probably leave. I said, do you want to get out of here? And you said this was going to be important. This isn't on me. This isn't us. This is you, Caulie. This is your fault.
Look, wait, dude, I didn't mean to do any of this. I'm not taking blame for that. Why the fuck would this place turn into a giant killing dome? I don't know. Why would he have this kind of stuff?
I don't know. You said this was a supervillain's lair as soon as we came in here.
Yeah, that I did.
Yeah, we should have seen this coming.
I didn't know it would kill all the fucking teenagers. They're kids.
Okay, well, you know what? It's about to kill us as well. How the fuck are we gonna get out of here?
Yeah, that is a great point. We need to get the fuck out of here. Okay, well, hold on. The cameras are still on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can we see the helper bot? Because that was like the only robot in this place that's like killing people. Yeah. Is it done killing people?
It's roaming the house, like looking for people intermittently.
Okay. Okay. we need to move fast. I want to like run out of this little place and just like get back into the master bedroom.
Sure.
And on the way there, I'll be like, okay, look, if this entire spot was going to shut down and turn into a death trap, then there would probably be some sort of escape nearby, either in the master bedroom or it down in that little lab. But let's check the master. So can I like go to the master bedroom and like lock the door or something?
Sure. Yeah. You lock. So you run out of the hallway, run out of this little panic room chamber, and back into the master bedroom. You rush over to the door and lock it. As you hear a few more screams echoing down the hallways, gunshots and things like that. Um, you look around and you don't see any cameras in the master bedroom, and your first thought is, well, thank God, and also of course. But you then start casing the joint for anything else that's hidden, supposedly. Go ahead and give me a notice wisdom check, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I think that makes the most. Can I argue for a survival check?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I don't know survival wisdom. I
I'd
guess
say probably still, yeah.
I think survival. Oh my god, fuck! Does this count as a different scene?
When was
That's
the?
all DM discretion.
No, yeah, it is. Which is why I say, when did you use it last? When you were hacking the computer?
Yeah, it was the failed.
I want to say, yeah, this is a new scene. The computer hacking scene versus the we have to get the fuck out of here survival sequence is a new scene. So
please, 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 please. Oh.
A 3 and a 5 collectively. You case this place and you are pretty sure there are no other secret chambers here. You start looking under the bed, looking for vents, you start breaking the other Dawn's Gleam kind of sconces, and like none of them activate any other secret doors. It's like, fuck. He had a panic room and that's it in here. You're gonna have to venture out into the house to find a way out.
Okay. We didn't actually happen to check what was in the panic room. It was just the computer.
It was the computer. Yeah.
Okay, then
yeah.
I don't think anything else was in there unless it was activated by the computer. Here, I want to run back down into the panic room, lickety split, check the cameras. Where the fuck is Simon? Where's the robot?
Okay. The robot is still downstairs, and you see it's making its way essentially over the pool at this point. It's gonna loop. It looks like it's doing a loop around the house looking for people, and it's like floating over the pool, which is a death trap room at this point, and it's about to head into what is like a foyer, a hallway, and then the music room, and it's going to kind of do an outward loop around there. You see Simon is towards the front door, frantically trying to undo the security protocol via like a data pad on the side of the door. He's like trying to punch it in, the alarm code essentially, and it's not working because this is not the alarm. This is an external protocol, and you can see Simon's very freaked out. Like, I'm trying to get the fuck out of here, and I can't.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit. Oh god, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Sure. Can we? I wish I had a map of the house because I'd say like this robot is most likely on like a patrol kind of path, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
If we can scoop or like sneak in behind or like where it's already been, then we could probably buy ourselves some time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think our best bet is probably beelining for Simon while avoiding the pool area and wherever it seems to be going after the pool area.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Great.
Flo, as quiet as possible. I guess follow me. Just don't. Whatever you do, do not make a sound. And I guess like hug the walls, make our way down the hallway. I guess.
Okay. You.
This is very common.
Yeah. I should probably switch the music up. I haven't switched it yet.
Oh. Yeah, I was skipping tracks to see what comes.
Oh. So yeah, as a side note, when you skip tracks, it skips it for everybody. So
Oh,
just as a heads up. Oops.
yeah, I assume so.
Okay. Oops. I didn't do that right. And play. Yes.
I guess I can delete Basola and Williams' character sheet now. I have them all up on my screen just in case we got another conversation. I don't really think that's going to be happening anytime soon.
Yeah, okay, so give me I'll argue or I'll take a survive again, but I think give me a sneak dex check is what I would ask for initially.
Okay. Yeah, I want to ask if I can argue for survival, but
I will take survival dex as well.
okay.
Oof.
That's actually what I'm pretty good at. Let's see. Oh my god, dude! Fuck.
Yeah. You know what's funny is Flo rolled a 3 as well. You guys begin to clamp down the stairs.
Yeah, I'm wearing flippy floppies.
And she's got heels. So it's just
loud and screws ever.
But you have the insight of the foresight essentially of the next not 5 minutes, the next 2 minutes. You know where Simon is probably gonna be, and you know the robot's kind of going. So you have enough time and the immediate thing to kind of negate this stealth check in a weird way, where it's like, well, you know the robot's not over here. You're not gonna be over there. You don't need to. Anyway, you head down the stairs, head in the opposite direction. You know where it is right now. Things begin to get unclear from there. Essentially, as you round the corner, you hear Simon yell out in your direction before he sees you and before you see him. No, stay back! No, don't come for me! And as you round the corner, you see he's horrified, looking at you, expecting you to potentially be something else. Maybe the robot finally come back to kill him, or something like that. And he is, oh. God. Simon is gonna blow your cover here. Is how I'm gonna roll this 3 and a 3. Essentially, your stealth checks manifest, and Simon is not stealthy. He's like, "Help me unlock this fucking door, please. I can't get it open. The passcode's not working."
Dude, we need to.
And Bot's gonna come here and kill all of us.
I know. Your dad didn't tell you how to undo whatever the hell this is.
No, I
look at Flo and I kind of give her like a wide eye, like, yeah, whatever the hell this is.
Yeah, she looks at you wide-eyed too, as if like, I'm gonna keep my fucking mouth shut if you're not gonna say something. But,
yep.
She says, or he says, he goes, "No, I don't know what the fuck this is. The murder, the butler turned murderer protocol. I don't know how to turn it off. I know how to unlock the doors and set the alarm. That's it. I ain't ever seen nothing like this."
Your dad didn't tell you about like an escape hatch or something like that?
He thinks really hard for a moment, and he goes,
"Come on, Simon, think."
Okay. We could, okay, I think my little brother, he's a big tech nerd. I think he might have some something that might be able to override this door in his bedroom if we could make it up there, or there's an external vent in the kitchen that we could get out of as well.
Kitchen.
Well, you know the kitchen is filled with deadly gas, so you'll need a way to navigate that. Yeah. If you were to go that route.
Look, I guess just lead the way to your brother's room, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and if you see the robot, just, I don't know, why doesn't it, I mean, it's obvious why it's not attacking you, just, I don't know, give us some cover.
You know what? Give me a check for that. Give me like a, I'm gonna say,
can I do a connect charisma? Or talk charisma?
I'll take talk charisma. Talk is more fitting. I mean, I technically would take connect, but talk is good.
Okay. Well, I would prefer connect because I just realized I have a -1 in talk. I put it all in Fine, I'll do the talk.
Okay. No, I'm gonna say talk just because you levied the idea. I'll take it. But
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that.
A 7. He looks at you and is, again, he's hard to read, but he's like, yeah, sure.
Look,
And
look,
starts,
dude,
come on.
dude, the robot likes you, dude. Just get us out of here.
Yeah, but it might go through me to get to you. And he starts, yeah, he starts like leading the way towards the brothers' room. And he, as you guys are sneaking through the house, looking around every corner, like I said, this house is a big maze. He kind of at one point says to you, "Sorry, I didn't say anything about our dads knowing each other. By the way, I feel like now's a time to get all my regrets out." And yeah.
Look, dude, let's talk about that when we get out of here, okay? Save my life, and I'll make it up to you.
Yeah. And you hear, as you are sneaking around the house and you begin to head up the stairs, you hear a familiar voice kind of call out, not from anywhere in sight, but you hear the British screams of William Collins.
No!
I sorry, help get this thing off me. You're halfway down the stairs. It sounds like it's coming from down the stairs and about a room over. Flo turns around. She looks up at you, Caulie. She looks over at Simon. What do we do? Simon goes, "Come on," and he takes another step up the stairs and he starts like going up the stairs. Flo tugs on your arm a little bit, like, what do we do?
Oh God. Look, dude, I'm not really a fighter. Oh fuck me. Look, maybe the four of us could take it if we get the jump on it. Simon, there's gotta be Simon.
You turn around. Simon's gone.
Fuck.
He's up the stairs around the corner.
God damn it.
This is like an important time too. Like potentially, like this is one of those things where there's a lot going on and there's like so many things, but like it's for you can I run into the other room, or per your discretion to a degree, you can be like, I start heading in that direction. Do I see any weapons along the way? Kind of deal. If that's the route you want to go. Same with like, do I see any comm pads I can hack along the way? Do I, like questions are your friend in these scenarios, because there's only so much I can describe before it's like, just okay. In this room, there's a comm pad on the wall, and there's this and 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 this.
Look, bro. We cannot take that thing with our fists. If we see a weapon on the way, a gun or something. I mean, I'm not a shooter, but I guess we could figure it out. Then maybe we could help William, but we can't just punch that thing to death. It's made of steel. Or whatever the hell it's made of. Come on, let's at least look for a weapon on the way. And I'm going to grab her by the hand and follow Simon and try to like quietly be like, Simon, there's got to be a weapon in here.
Okay. You grab her and you race back up the stairs. He runs down the hallway. You see Simon head into a side room. As you round the corner, he disappears around another corner. You follow him in. It's his brother's room. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of tech garbo in here. Half completed motherboards and circuitry and little grav tech experiments. Lots of like tinkery stuff. And Simon has. As you run to the room, Simon is grunting and groaning as he is just upturning the bed. He's just like picking it up from the side and throwing it against the wall, pretty much, just to reveal like a litany of garbage underneath, like just like tech shit, some cases, some containers. And he's like, "Help me look through all this stuff."
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to help look through all that stuff.
Yeah, give me a check to see what you can find. I'll take survive. I'll take depending on what you're okay, I guess, what are you looking for? What's your ideal find right now?
Ooh.
Is it a weapon? If so, what kind of weapon? Is it a device to get you through the force fields? Is it
I guess anything that resembles a gun or I want to just say a lightsaber,
Okay. So yeah, I'll take essentially notice, shoot, stab, or survive.
Yeah, I'll take a survive. Survive
Uh,
wisdom.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just cancel that one. So when it says modifier, do I have to type that in for
No,
myself?
a modifier is going to be if I'm like he's behind cover, so you actually have a -2, or a modifier is like, oh, you're on drugs right now, and it gives you a bonus. A modifier is like special conditions that I'll tell you if there's a +1 or a -1 or whatever.
Yeah. So let's say if I roll with charisma, since I have a +1 in that, it'll automatically incorporate that
Yeah,
+1.
yeah. The modifiers are just for external things, but if you roll, let's say you have a +1 work and a +1 charisma, and you were a work charisma check, you can see. I mean, if you hover over it, you can see rolling 2d6 +1 skill +0 mod +0 wisdom. So you got a 2 plus a 6 plus a 1.
Yep.
So with a 9, you are flipping through, and you said you're primarily looking for some sort of weapon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you find a collapsible vibro blade, a blunt weapon, or rather a kineto blade. Not a kineto blade, a kineto stick, I should say, because I said blunt. Blunt weapon that expands out into like a long, almost like a bow staff. That when you click a handle or a button on the handle, it begins to shimmer with kinetic energy that kind of glows around it in a sort of dull purple energy.
Okay. Simon, did you find anything?
Simon, he clicks open a case and he's like, "Oh, I think this will do. I hope this will. I think this is what I was looking for." And he pulls out a small, almost like a syringe, like a tech syringe almost. Instead of coming to a fine point, it kind of comes to like a 3-pronged, like almost like an XLR connector. I think you probably Caulie would just know what this is because it's not super rare. It's something called a stiletto charge, which is a one-use kind of bypass device.
So we can use that on the front door, the little pad there.
I hope so.
All right, let's make our way back there, and let's get William on the way. And I two-hand my blade, and I go with I guess we can. I guess I can do it. Come on.
All right, let me look for Flo real quick, see if she finds.
Also,
Wow,
should I add a vibro blade to my equipment?
You can if you want. Yeah, you can add it's going to be a medium advanced weapon, I believe is how the thing is going to rule it.
I don't. Oh wait, I need to go back up to the edit.
Yeah, like if you go to the drop down menu, it's like.
Yeah. There we go. There's a vibro blade.
Yeah, towards the bottom, medium advanced weapon. The game for like melee weapons and stuff like that, sometimes it generalizes things.
Okay.
So instead of being like a wrench versus a dagger versus this, they just say, oh, that's a small primitive weapon. But this is it's a tech and it's medium sized, so it's medium advanced. That'll set the base damage and shock and stuff like that. You can add that, so it'll be medium advanced weapon. Just to put the instats in, and then you can change the name.
What is it above and below? I don't actually see it.
So if you go to the weapon section and then you hit expand and go down, it's towards the bottom. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see small primitive weapon, medium primitive weapon, large primitive weapon, small, medium, large advanced weapons. Yeah.
I was in equipment. Okay, so medium advanced.
Yeah.
Okay, and now add.
Yeah, and then you can just rename it to like Vibro Baton.
Vibro Baton. Cool. It's a D8 +1.
Or no, let's say staff. We'll say Vibro Staff. Because baton implies like it's like a stun baton, small weapon.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll say it's bow staff.
Vibro Staff. Yeah.
And you can see, 1d8 +1, deals shock damage even if you miss, versus AC 13. Skill it usually uses a stab, strength, dex, takes your best.
Vibro Staff. -2. Love that.
That's the unfortunate. If you don't have anything in stab or shoot, or I think punch too, but if you don't, especially shoot, you have a -1 in, right? Well, actually, you have a -2 in it. is the unfortunate thing with the combat skills. You get a -1 if you don't have any training at all.
Yeah. Alright, well, let's make our way down. Oh wait, did Flo find anything?
She did not. She rolled another 3.
That a girl.
She's not good.
That a girl. You'd think with her hair being made of binary, she'd have better numbers.
So you guys begin to. Simon goes, "All right, what's the plan? What do we do, Caulie?"
All right. We're gonna make our way downstairs quietly, towards that front compad, because if you can jam that little prong into it and shut all this off, the robot will stop. And if William is still struggling with that thing, I can jump in and give him some backup. You try to stop this as fast as possible, because I don't know if I could actually take that thing. I'm just gonna try and distract it.
Okay.
Good luck, dude. Flo, you just stay undercover, I guess. You got nothing to protect you. But follow us.
She kind of looks at you for a moment. She gives you a nod. She's like, okay. You all begin to head downstairs to make your final gambit. Success or failure. I think I'll ask for another round of stealth checks.
Yeah.
Sneak dexterity.
Yeah, let's do it. Sneak dex.
3 and a 5. Heyo, fucking.
And a 2.
Simon's killing it.
Man. Wait,
Simon.
Did Flo get another 3?
No, so sorry. It's 2d6, so I was rolling them one at a time. Flo, I wasn't even gonna roll for Flo because she's hanging so far back, but Flo got a 5 plus 1, okay. So she got a 6. Fucking Simon got a 3 plus 5, so he got an 8. You all head downstairs to various degrees. Simon sneaks over to the front door. He starts trying to plug the stiletto charge in. He's working his magic. Flo ducks off to the side at the bottom of the stairwell, hidden away enough. You're the only real problem is you hear screams in the other room. Oi! Anybody's left to help! I can't! Oh god, it's breaking through! And you round the corner and you're able to see this robot with its kind of vibro buzzsaw cutter making wide swipes at what is essentially a giant liquor cabinet, an armoire made out of like titanium, like a reinforced metal that William is apparently inside of. And this thing is very quickly making short work of this thing. You see tons of cut up furniture around this kind of like parlor bar room, as if William has actually been holding this thing off by running away and putting furniture between it and himself for a minute now. And he has now completely fucking cornered himself.
Okay.
With a 2, as you round the corner into this room to see this, you step on just a large like chunk of like broken glass and wood, and the robot turns its attention to you, and it says, "Please do not resist," as it begins to whir towards you.
Okay. Yeah. Simon, go for the door, dude.
He's already working on it. Yeah, he's already working on it.
All right, work. Okay, I would like to hang behind a corner, and I guess ready an action to swat at this thing if it gets close.
Okay. You lock eyes with this thing's sensors, and you duck right back around the corner you came from, and you wait for a moment. And you can hear the grab jets getting closer and closer, and as it winds up a buzzsaw to get close to you, I think give me a I think I'm gonna ask for No. Okay. As it winds up the buzzsaw to it's getting closer to you. You can hear getting closer and closer, and this thing's jets propelling closer and closer. You know, it's just a few feet away. You're ready. You got this thing ready like a bat. Any second now. Suddenly, a tuft of flame bursts around the corner as it begins to activate its flamethrower and shut off its buzzsaw. You back up from the heat. Ah, shit! This isn't gonna work.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I run.
You dash down the hallway back the way you came towards Simon and Flo towards the and you just hear down the hallway, running is futile, as a couple of plasma shots ricochet down the hallway. It's gonna take a quick shot at you as you run away. Fucking pitiful. They shatter glass vases and different sort of artifacts around the room as they disintegrate them into piles of goo, missing you entirely.
Alright, change the plans, dude. I can't do a thing. How's the door coming?
Simon now has the force Pavis field down, but is struggling to lift the shutter as he's like, I can't! Ah! Caulie, help me!
Okay, I help him.
You run over, give me an exert strength check, or I'll take a work strength as well.
I think I'm bad at both, but let's do it. Right? Oh, please, baby. I just want to live the initial encounter.
Oh!
No, this is
You were rolling so bad.
I know. I know. I don't think this is a new scene either, because I did this.
It's not. The whole escape scene is the... Yeah. Flo runs over to help. Oh, a 9.
Oh, my girl.
And we'll give Simon another roll as well. Oh, a 6 and a 1, a 7. Plus 1, 8. I'm gonna say 9 and 8, and unfortunately 3. You go to lift this up, and unfortunately you are providing very little. But between the three of you, you are able to get this up, even with your failure. And as this thing shoots closer, it's gonna, because of your failure, it's gonna get 2 more attacks real quick.
Okay.
Pitiful. The window, or the shutter clinks up. You get it basically past your waist level, and you heave upwards, and it's basically willing to go the rest of the way. Like once you get it above a certain point, it's just gonna slide up into its like external kind of compartment. And as that happens, you hear and a sort of groan to your left as Simon is shot in the side with a plasma shot.
Oh, shit, no!
The shutters are now open. The gate is open. The path forward onto the beach, down the steps, out of this fucking murder house is available to you as Simon takes a step forward with you and then collapses to his knees.
Can I, like, throw him over my... Not throw him over my shoulders, but can I, like... I guess drag him because I'm not fucking strong.
Yeah. You go to drag him. Your speed is slowed as Flo comes around the other side and she loops an arm under and she's like, "Come on, we got." And she helps you drag this guy down the steps. His feet clanking down the steps as you clumsily try and get him away from this murder house. The bot stands in the window for a moment, pew pew, shooting a few errant plasma shots at you, but seemingly unwilling to leave the house. And after a moment, you get halfway down as it begins to you look up and you see the bot's kind of central sensor eye begin to glow red and focus on you, and it looks like it's almost like kind of boop, 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 charging something up for a minute. And you see as you kind of look up, you're dragging him down these steps trying to get as far away as quick as possible, but it's Simon's a big guy, he's slowing you down. You see from the periphery, the side of the doorway, William comes in and cracks a pool cue over this thing's head. and it turns to him, no longer focusing on you, and blasts this red distortion cannon, kind of blasts out of its eye, turning William into chunks in an instant, but allowing you to escape with this moment of distraction.
I didn't want it. Oh, no!
Yeah, just no! Flo has the air sucked out of her as she just gasps as, again, like, this distortion canyon, it disrupts matter internally, so it goes into William's body and just separates things, and he just turns into, like, his arms just detach. And he crumples to the ground, very obviously dead. But you are able to drag Simon up the beach to safety, away from this house. He is bleeding profusely from this disintegrating chunk of flesh from where the plasma hit him. A huge hole in his side, the size of like a basketball almost. Damn. As he's kind of just fading in and out of consciousness, gasping for air, extremely worried for his health, as I imagine you and Flo are. You lay him down on the shoreline, just on the cusp of the water and the sand, as he's just delirious at this point. You guys are now several hundred meters away from the house, and this bot does not seem to even register you as people anymore. It has gone into the house to continue the protocol. You are at a safe distance. You were able to finally catch your breath for a minute, but only for a second, because
we need to find help for William. Help! Help!
You begin to call out for help amongst the rave city of Lachlan City. Everybody is out partying. The city is loud. Anybody who's worth a damn is surrounded by extremely loud music and good vibes and fun. There is no one on this beach at this hour at night. It's just the three of you, as Flo says. She looks down pessimistically. We have to. I can't. Do you have a Lazarus patch, or he's?
No, dude. I just came here with the clothes on my back. There's a street right over there. I could run and see if anyone has one.
She kind of frantically nods, like, yeah, go look for help.
Okay.
And as you go to stand up, Simon kind of just grabs you by the arm and like pulls you in. And he, like, as if to say, like, don't go, and he prevents you from leaving for a second, and you're like kind of confused for a moment, and then he grabs you by the upper arm and pulls you in even closer to the point where you, like, your head slams into his chest, and he kind of whispers into your ear at this point, and he's like, it wasn't my fault, it's my dad's. But I still feel the need to say, I'm sorry for Ember. You kind of lean up at this point as you feel his tight grip around your bicep kind of loosen. And you look at him. The life has left his eyes.
I just like look at Flo. Like, no, we didn't even get a chance to save him. Are they all done? It can't just be us, right?
She looks back to the horizon, the distant lights of the interior of the Godwater Villa, kind of visible from this distance, but hazy from just kind of the ocean breeze and the ocean haze, rather. You're at a safe distance, but it's still. And she looks back at you and she says, "Not unless you want to go back in there."
We can't go back in there.
No,
That thing's probably
exactly.
still running around crazy.
Mm-hmm. So suffice to say, if that's not the plan, then I think it's just us.
But Caulie like collapses into the sand, just like looks up at the sky, like, but that wasn't supposed to happen, you know? That was never supposed to happen. What the fuck could that guy be hiding for something like that? He just killed, what, 20, 30 fucking teenagers, kids, young adults? How the hell do you justify that?
Flo is just looking at Simon's body at this point, kind of dejected and traumatized, and she takes a very deep breath for a moment, and she goes, I don't know. I don't have the answers, but I know that we're not done, and I know that we probably need to talk about some things on how to go forward. So, she pulls out a little. She pulls out a matchbook, essentially, like an old school matchbook, and she palms it in your hand, and she says, "This is where I'm staying at the moment. Room 405. Why don't you head there? Try and take a breath. I'll deal with this body."
What are you gonna do with it? Like, you know what to do with a body?
I guess I'll just dig a hole. Hopefully it doesn't get found. I don't want to be either of us to be held responsible for what happened. So it can't just sit here. And she's, kind of shaking at this point. I'll meet you in my room in an hour or two, and we can go over things from there. Sound good?
Yeah, I guess. Do you want me to, like, help dig, or?
I feel like it's less conspicuous if I'm out here by myself.
All right. Sure, I'll make my way there, but I don't think we should be there long. Like, I have a feeling we're now wanted.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But yeah, we'll talk things over when I get back. All right. It'll just be an hour. You lay low until then. Okay.
Sure, Ollie like takes off his Hawaiian shirt and ties it around his head, covering his long locks, and goes, "You got it. Stay low yourself. I guess."
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess Caulie will make his way to that room.
She gives you a smile, and you head off towards this hotel. That is listed on the matchbooks. It is a kind of slightly more. There's no rundown buildings in this city, right? It is a exclusive tourist resort, right? Everything's nice, but it is one of the less bougie hotels in this area.
Mm-hmm.
You head up to room 405, and she tells you before you go. She goes, "There's a spare room key under the mat, and this hotel has floor mats in front of it. You lift up the mat. There's a spell room key pressed underneath it. You're able to gain access to the room, and you wait. You wait. And you wait a couple of hours, and then there's a knock on the door.
Is there people?
You look through the peephole, and it looks like hotel staff, a bellhop.
Who is it?
I'm with the hotel, sir. I have a message delivery for one. And he checks like what is a piece of paper in his hand, which is supposedly the message. One Caulie LeFlower.
All right, I'll like unlock the door and slightly. You know what I'll do? I'll
The hotel chain.
Yeah. Does it have? I'm imagining
Yeah.
it has like a door handle lock and like a padlock, the chain thing. I'll leave the
Yeah.
chain, but yeah.
Yeah, you clunk it open a few inches. He goes, "Very good, sir. Sorry for interposing while you're indecent. Here you are." And he kind of slips this parchment in the gap.
Yeah, sorry, dude. I was just naked. Thanks, and I'll close the door.
Have a good night, sir. And you close the door, and you look at the people. You see him walk off. You look at the note that you were now handed, and it says "To Caulie," and it's sealed up. And you unseal it, presumably, and read it.
Yeah. I'll like sit on the bed.
I sit on the end of the bed, and it is a note from Flo.
It had to be. She's the only one who knew I was here.
Yeah. Well, presumably. But it's a note from Flo, and it essentially reads, "Caulie, I'm sorry. I'm not exactly who I have pretended to be over the past few days. There's a lot more to me than being a quote-unquote bartender on this hunk of man-made rock."
I fucking knew it. Everyone else had parents.
Yeah. Things have well, she was the only native. Everybody else was a tourist. She was just some chick that worked here, right? So she was the difference. But she says I'm not who I really said I was, and we'll leave it at that. Things didn't go exactly as I planned tonight, but I think we both got a little bit of what we wanted. So at least there's that. I'm not going to be joining you in the room tonight. I know you may have found it weird that a bartender who supposedly lives on this planet was staying at a hotel, but thanks for not flagging it earlier. Would have made things real awkward if you brought it up in conversation. Anyway, wish you the best. Hope you find your mom. And I'm sorry, but I hope we don't cross paths again. Signed, and in quotes, is the name Flo.
Huh. I should have done a perception check on that chick.
Mm-hmm. That's how you get them. You lead with, "Hey man, you've known this girl for 3 days already. Start of the session, boom, go. You have no reason to doubt her because you've known her already. I told you, you know her. I've implanted her in your brain, man."
Yeah, you were like, "You've known this chick. You're friendly with her." I was like, "Right, she's a friend." I just believe that from the get-go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You sit there in the hotel room in silence for a minute and realize you have fucking nothing to do here anymore.
Yeah, I just lost all my friends. I just lost everything. I got a fuckload of information. Yeah, I guess my next step is get the fuck off this planet. 2, make my way to Saragon 2, I believe.
Mm-hmm. And that's where we end the session, with you in the wake of this disaster, confused about a variety of things that just happened and that you learned. Dead friends and acquaintances in your wake, potentially wanted by who knows how many organizations and entities and law enforcement agencies, depending on if they're able to trace this back to you in any way. And a newfound lead on your mother.
You just killed a bunch of kids, Alex. Kids.
They were 18.
There was guaranteed a 17-year-old there.